Who's been your favorite Man United player?
Vidic.
Nemanja, yeah.
Brother, that's the reason why I actually supported a team.
Is it? Defender, ne?
Defender, brother. Because, I mean, that man's mentality is everything. His brain.
Not a lot of people gravitate towards like a defender. It's always like a striker or like a playmaker.
From trying to tell people, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that man, he was a brick wall.
Nah.
You need to...
nothing past there.
Nothing past there, right? You have to go around him the other side.
Nothing past there, true.
Yeah, Vidic for me that's the reason why I actually started supporting the team, because that man will put his foot down, the ball stops here, the man is flipping.
Still going through.
And you're like, yeah, I like that. I like that.
True.
Oh, that's fighting talk.
Is soccer the only thing that you've watched?
No.
That you follow?
Look, I've played a lot of sports. If I can start counting how many sports I've done in my life, you would be like, Mana, what the hell?
Oh, that you've... okay, I thought in terms of like being a spectator.
No, being a spectator, tennis, golf, rugby, baseball, American football, basketball. I watch sport.
Yeah.
As long as it's sport, I'm watching it.
With the ones that you've been involved in, like you said, soccer?
Yeah, soccer, I've been involved with soccer, basketball, I've been involved with basketball, beach volleyball, I've been involved with that. I've been involved with five-a-side volleyball as well.
Okay.
Cricket, baseball, rugby. But rugby was the longest I played.
For real?
Yeah. What else have I played? I think that's pretty much it.
What was your position? I'm assuming lock. What was your position in
flank,
rugby? Oh, for real?
blind side.
I
was naughty, naughty in the field, brother. I played lock as well, yes. It was not my favorite position, even though coaches used to force me to play lock.
Yeah,
I was good.
You got the height.
Yeah, I was good at jumping. Like my strength was lineouts. Like I would take your line, I'll take your ball.
Yeah,
like,
your ball.
Like for me, they knew I'm long arm, rich, I'm taking the ball. So they utilized me there a lot, but I enjoyed flank because I was naughty, man. In the field, I'd provoke you for no reason.
Yeah.
I want to get in your head, because I know you're going to want to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just hit you in the right. For me, it was the thing, man. It was the thing. The reason why I pretty much left rugby is because of like major injuries. I had a fat injury that I had to go for surgery. It took me out 2 years. Had to learn how to walk again. Had to learn how to use my quad. I was like on crutches for like 2 years, basically. Yeah. And within that 2 years, I wanted to go back in rugby. And I was told, nah, because I was playing, at the time I was playing for the varsity, NMU. And I was also trialing out for the Elephant, the EP Elephant. So they told me, now, look, get fit, come back, and then we get you get your spot back. So I was like, oh, hey, what's the best way to get fit? MMA. And yeah.
And then that's just how that led to that.
Yeah.
Damn, okay, so like before that, like was that the first dream, obviously, like the rugby dream now?
Yeah, dedicated everything with rugby. Everything was in rugby. Like for me, rugby was the thing, and I'll train like about 7 times a week.
Yeah.
Monday to Sunday, I'm training in the gym, out the gym. I'm always working, and in the field, I was always dominant. I was that player in the field that you need. Like when we're coming in your field, watch for me.
Yeah.
Like I was a problem.
Damn, is it a matter of like also, is it because of obviously the height or the stature or the build, or is it also because like off field, like you were always popular around?
I would say popularity played a better role, because from high school I was always popular with rugby as well, and I was always dominant. But for me, confidence has always been a thing, and confidence doesn't come on its own.
Yeah.
For me, confidence comes with hard work, and I've always put in the work. I make sure that I don't leave a stone unturned. When I'm getting in the field, I want to make sure that I walk out the field without my head looking on the floor.
Sure.
I don't want to walk out the field knowing that I've ticked a box.
Yeah.
I make sure that I walk out the field, even though I've lost the game, I've ticked every box in the field. And because for me, I would walk out the field, I'm like, why we lost? I'll look at that.
Yeah.
And even if we win a game, why did we concede? You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, always perfection is everything.
Dang, so that mentality has always been
It's always been the thing.
Okay, so like let's talk about in terms of like growing. So you said that you would always naughty. Has this always been like even since childhood?
Yeah, I would say a little bit. Look, first of all, my growing up hasn't been like the best growing. I never grew up like your normal kid. I grew up with my uncle.
Okay.
He had a girlfriend, and he would work from 6 to 6. His girlfriend would pretty much abuse us most of the time we'd be at home.
So I know you have a brother.
I've got a brother and a sister. So
Okay.
it was first me and my sister.
Okay.
It was so bad that I kind of had to run away for a month. I was homeless for a month because they abused me. Like they abused us for years. She was very abusive in a way. And I would say that's what kind of built me in a mentality of a man that I became today, because I had to grow mentally in a young age. I had to become a man in the age of 12.
Yeah.
I had to make sure that my sister, is well looked after, is fed well, everything is perfect for her in the age of 12. So for me, I'd say I was built. And I'm in a time I'd look at it as a curse, for now I kind of look at it as a blessing, because it made me a man that I am today. So I appreciate it, and it's a journey that I've gone through, like I said on the mic today, an obstacle that I faced in life. In that case, just fuck all, nothing.
Yeah. Can you delve into that? Some of the obstacles that you face in terms of, this is obviously coming from the DRC.
Yeah.
Do you want to delve into that? Like,
yeah, we can.
That you face.
I've never been ashamed of talking of telling people how, because it's a story of my life. It's always motivating me to go
beyond.
So, coming in SA, I did not fly in SA in a plane because I don't have a passport. Never had a passport. It was a bus, a taxi, a walk. You understand? Walk through a bush. Just trying to make way to get, as a refugee, we'll get in a country. And getting in a country, you don't know the language, you know the people, it's only you and your sister. And this guy that brought you in Joburg, in Messina, 5 o'clock in the morning, is like, man, as a man is going to come pick you up here. An 10-year-old with a 6-year-old sister, living both of them in a park, cold, freezing. Man left just there, chilled there for 7-8 hours. A random guy comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, you this and this, take care." And he looked after us. I was grateful for that man, because he looked after us for about 4 or 5 months, and then he couldn't, because he's like, "No, I don't have the finance, and where I am currently, my landlord is kind of going at me because I've got 2 extra people in the house, so I can't look after you guys." And from there, obviously, moved into PE, and in PE, that's when I moved with my uncle, I'd say. And I thought maybe from here at least life is going to be a bit nice, better. And he was a security, so obviously security, you need to leave the house 5 in the morning. And he had a girlfriend. His girlfriend, he had 2 kids. And that's where life began. In the age of 11, I started to realize, because I've watched a couple of Nigerian movies of how kids are being abused on TV. I'm like, that's not going to be us, man. Man. And you're starting to leave it now, and you're like, geez, is this how it feels? Really, like, enjoy it as much as you can, but you get to that level where you couldn't anymore. The worst incident happened to me is she got upset. Not even the worst. That's like one of the worst.
Okay.
I'd say she got upset. She's cooking chicken, frying, oil, everything. She got upset. I don't know why she was getting upset for. She made me pick up something on the floor. She took the pan, dropped it on my head. There was a moment where she got upset. She wanted to kill herself for some reason, and gave me money to go buy her medicine. My uncle was like, "No, don't give the money. Don't go buy medicine." So obviously I'll have to listen to the guy that's paying the bill in the house. And she's like, "No, give me the money. I'll go buy it myself." And my uncle was like, "No, don't give the money." And then she came to me, bit my hand, cut my hand open. I've got a scar in my hand that reminds me of
that day.
Yeah, of that day. I've lived it all, like being hit with a hammer in the head, being beaten up every day. First of all, moving to SA, for the first 5 years, I never went to school because she didn't want to put us to school, but the kids were going to school. We were practically maid, cleaning the house, cooking, washing, doing everything. And, it gets to a point you're like, I can't, man. I can't. And I didn't want to run away, but I'm like, I kind of have to, because I just need a bit of, I felt like the street was the peace. It was very peaceful, more than actually being at home. And ran away. But I left my sister, but I was not far, because I kind of had to keep my eye on my sister.
Close to her,
she didn't know where I was, which funny, because as I ran away, I left the house for a month. They never bothered to call my parents back in DRC to tell them that I was missing. Every time my parents would call and ask, how's my kids? They're like, nah, they're good.
They're fine.
They're fine. So, it's been a lot. It's been a journey. That's why my life has been. It's a lot of people would have given up. Would have been like, I'm done. I would rather die, sleeping in an abandoned car for a month. And the only way you can eat, I would go to ShopRite, where they cut bread. The machine that cuts bread. Yeah. There's a drawer on the bottom. I'd pull that shit, have a plastic, get all the crust, put it in there, eat that, bottle of water. That's a meal for the day. And what's next? Just wait and hope God can look after you, man. Yeah. So it's been a hell of a life. It's been a hell of a journey. Yeah.
So like when life is that tough, and like now obviously you know that you wanna take in like obviously your sister to not go through that. Like what's the beam of hope that keeps you going, even with all these obstacles?
Look, honestly, I say God kept me going. God, because as a kid, I had no motivation.
Yeah,
I had given up. For me to leave the house to go sleep in the street in an abandoned car every single day, I'd wake up 5 a.m. because I don't want to get caught in that car.
Yeah.
Because the owner of the car, I knew the owner of the cars, and
okay.
Every morning I'd wake up 5 o'clock. When I'm hearing the birds die, I'm up. I'm like, So now I'm gonna start roaming around the whole day. So I give God the glory, man, because He kept me motivated. He kept me going. He kept me. He just kept me, because I don't know where I would be without God today. I don't know.
Damn. So like with that, like obviously finding, I mean, you did say like you were pretty naughty growing up, and also like kind of finding the streets as an escape. Why didn't the other part of the streets attract you? What kept you going in terms of like the positive side then?
I'll say the positive side has been my sister, because my sister because my younger sister is right after me. I'm the second born, she's the third born. And for me, what I've experienced with her, the journey to come to SA, that's the one thing that bonded the both of us and made us very close. She's the best friend. She's everything I have up until now. Like, I'm closer to her than I've ever been, even with my father, with anybody else in the family. I'm very close to my sister. So my sister's always been kept. I would say that she's the person that kept me on a positive side, because I wanted to see her fine. I wanted to see her all right. I wanted to see her that she's doing okay. I didn't care about how I was doing.
How you are,
I didn't give her. For me, I didn't like. I even left the part way back then. Obviously, it was in a location area, in the schools they give them bread. For lunchtime and bread and jam and butter. So. It's so worse that I would go pick up some of those leftover bread. Some of them are very dry. Biting a bread is breaking in your hand, and I'll bring her some so she can eat as well. So for me, it was more her than about me. So I cared more to think about her. I did not really think about myself to even think about. Like, for me, it didn't really matter. Like, what do I want to do? What's happening on my life? Like, why am I in the street? So for me, it was, I want her to do fine. I don't want her to go through what she's doing in the other house. But I even trying to ask for my mom's number so I can call my mother. They said no. You understand? No, we're gonna contract your mom. We're talking to your mom, so it's fine. I would say she played a major role in kind of keeping me in check in a way.
Dang. Yeah, like that must be. I mean, like carrying that responsibility at that young age, like it obviously like toughens you up very young. And obviously like also did the perspective of the world then shape you differently, how the world is, or was it a matter of like, you know what, you're gonna find a way to make everything come together? Yeah,
for me, I think growing up like that, because I always had to find a way. I always had to make a way. I always had to. At the end of the day. Yeah, like every day you wake up, you're like, okay, like, let's hustle. Let's hustle. So for me, that's been the toughest part of my life. And then when the world started throwing things at you, I was like, let's go. Let's keep moving, man.
Dust it off and get back
let's
up.
Let's go, yeah.
All right, so boom, you're playing rugby. Boom, you get injured. Now you have to stay fit. You find MMA. How did you get to finding MMA?
Two ways. I spoke to a friend that told me, okay, now do boxing. Boxing is good. So I was like, oh wait, no problem. And then I've got I call him my uncle because he's practically like very close to our family.
Okay.
His name is Steve. He's got a stroke now. I kind of make fun of him, but in a positive way, because I want to keep him. I don't want him to stress every time about his situation.
Okay.
He told me, he said, you in a combat sport, you will be dangerous and you will be the man to look out for. I laughed. I said, nah.
And how old are you at this point?
I was 17, 18, just turning 19 at the point, yeah. He's like, he said that, and I laughed about it. I brushed on my shoulder. About 2-3 years later, I entered 23, 24.
Okay.
He took me, because he was a plumber.
Okay.
He took me to build a warehouse. So he's like, nah, come through, come and help me pick up some stuff there. So we got into his bakkie. We went together. We got to build a warehouse. He's like, nah, before we go to a warehouse, let's get into King Scott, because at the time PESFA was in King Scott.
Yeah. So
he said, nah, let's get into King Scott. I want to pick up something quick there. I was like, yeah, let's go. So we walked together. Checking this man is walking into a dojo, man. I didn't care. So we walk into a dojo, introduced himself to Chris. Chris, very nice, very awesome human being. He came to us, he shook our hands, he introduced himself, who he was and stuff. Yeah, human being, such a human being, actually. Sure. And like he told him about me, and Chris was like, nah, you can come join the classes, it's fine, not a problem. So I joined the classes. I think it was about a year, and then kind of disappeared, and because I didn't take it serious. And then after a year, after that injury happened, that worsened everything. And then I kind of went back again, and I was like, no, I want to get fit now properly so I can get back to rugby, because rugby was like, I was like, I'm going to take it serious now. So, and then I get back in there. I found myself in the fighting team, getting bullied, getting beaten up by these guys. And I was like, the first time I'd say it was, I'm not sure, you know Shorty?
I know, yeah, Lutando. Yeah, shout out to.
So yeah, maybe like Shorty, Sindile, and there's a guy called Cedric.
Okay.
A beast. So 3 of them are black belt in judos, and they're very good in judo, like super good.
Yeah.
So we're doing all wrestling. So these men are they're doing a throw, the same throw, but then they're doing it differently, because each one of them are masters in their own game.
They have sneaky stuff.
So Cedric goes first. He throws me. I land on my head, and then Cindy's like, "No, you didn't do it properly. I'm gonna show you the proper technique. That's old school. Let me show you new school." I'm like, what? You guys are playing with me.
They're just using you.
Cindy comes. I'm like, nah, he's not going to get it. And at the time, I was 125 kilogram.
Dang. And they just
massive.
throwing you around like it's
my
crazy.
Brother. Cindy comes, playing around. Bam! Flips me. I land on my back. He's like, yeah, you see, that's how you do it. I'm like, Shorty comes, is like, wait. I'm like, no. There's no. I'm like, no, there's no way this man's going to flip me. No. My bro. That man grabbed me. I saw my face looking. I'm landing. I'm like,
Blambee Airways.
My brother. I was like, dude, how much you weigh? He's like, 60. I'm like, I'm twice your weight. You flipped me. I went home thinking about it that day. And I'm like, I need to know how he did that. I need to know how I can do that to a human being.
So before, had you been in a fight? Had you been?
Look, as a man, I always thought I could fight, man.
Okay.
Rugby player, adrenaline, testosterone, street fight, nothing that is. And then that humbled me.
Yeah.
The one person that humbled me was Shorty. Like the rest of them, I was arrogant enough to be like, he's big, he's tall, or whatever, he knows his technique.
He's got structure. Yeah.
Shorty, he humbled me. Like, he had the man that put me on my back and is like, think about your life, man. And going home, I thought about it so much, and ever since that day,
it stayed with you.
It stayed with me. It stayed with me.
Damn. So essentially, that's how you met the team at PESFA.
Yeah.
So talk to me in terms of like how Chris is like the head coach, and like how much the gym has meant to you, obviously through your come up until your MMA career.
Chris, you know when you have a strict father, and you're scared of messing up, and because you know if I mess up, my dad is.
I'm gonna deal with
them. You know, I'd rather get a hiding than actually get a lecture. He's an uncle.
Yeah.
He's a father. Like we don't look at him as a coach. He's not a coach to us. Like people are like, yeah, coach. I'm like, no, he's not a coach. Like we call him coach.
Yeah.
But
he's more than that.
He's more than that. We sit with him. We laugh. We talk more than just MMA things to him. Like we laugh about everything, and he makes the environment so comfortable for you that 7 o'clock I'm in the gym, 8 p.m. I'm going home every day of my life. Like I want to be in the gym. Sometimes it's like go home. He's like you know, he wants you to be there, but he also wants you to rest in a way. But I'm like, nah, bro, I want to be here with you. I want to spend time, because the knowledge that man has, first of all, it's beyond. I don't know, like it's way beyond. Like I've never seen a man with such a knowledge. The way he breaks it down for you. Like I recently I would say recently just found out that growing up, I got a bit of an ADHD because it's very difficult for me to understand information, to pick up information. But with him, he makes it in a way, like he simplifies everything, that I get to pick up information just like that.
Quick,
so fast. And to have him in my life, like I've had so many coaches in my life. I've had like world-class coach to coach me with rugby, any other sport that I've played. And he is sitting right in a pick, like right on the top as a coach in my life, because he's taught me way more than just MMA. He's taught me to be a human being. He's taught me to be a gentleman. He's taught me to be not a fighter, man. He's taught me not to be an athlete. He's taught me to be a respectful person outside of my craft. To look at somebody and be like, respect him because he deserves to be respected. So not just skill, but he's taught me life skill as well on his own. So I'll always be grateful to him. And like I talk to him sometime as a joke, I'm like, I'll never leave you. And he laughs about it. It's like, I'll send you away. I'm like, my brother, it's never happening. If you're sending me away, you must know I'm coming back. Because this is where, for me to start a sport with him, such a sport that I didn't even know how to throw a jab. I'll throw a jab, he'll laugh at me. I didn't know how to wrestle. Wrestling was, I don't know what wrestling was. Jiu-jitsu was never part of my, I didn't know what BJJ was, you understand? And for me to have such a skills that I have today under this man, it's just
you see them differently now. Because I think also even for me, because I'm also a BJJ practitioner, and like my coach is Coach Soldier Boy, Gav McLaren, so and Shana, shout out to Titanium. But like it's a matter of like you do
should look up to that man. Soldier Boy. He used to watch all his fights, brother.
So like to see them and like also them imparting that type of knowledge into you, when you actually thought that actually I can take on anyone, and to get into the gym and like actually be humbled, it's crazy. Like your viewpoint and your perspective changes, So is it a matter of like you see Chris differently because also he got into your life at a point where you were hungry to actually change your life, or is it a matter of like because all the other coaches you weren't super close with, like how you are with Chris?
So with Chris, it's like I say, it's when I look at it in my skill-wise, every day I learn something new. Every day you're upskilling. Every day you like as an athlete, I played professional sport as a rugby, and I understood what's the meaning of that word when I joined Chris. What's the meaning of being a pro? Understand? For me, being a pro in air rugby, it didn't mean it meant nothing. But when I joined Chris, I understood what it meant to be a pro. And
all the other factors now.
Because he doesn't focus on these crazy things. Like he focuses on the most simplest stuff ever. That sometimes you get so bored of the things that is making you like. It would make me repeat the one thing like a whole week. You're like, coach, can you move on?
He's like, something else.
No. And then you'll be grappling with somebody, he gets in a position, and boom, he call out a name. All of a sudden, it comes to you, muscle memory, everything. So I would say yes, in perspective of being very close to him, because he doesn't just give you the information and then he walks away. He gives you the information and he sits there with you, and he wants you to use that information not just in one dimensional way, but he wants you to actually use that same information in multiple dimensional way. But he wants you to actually develop it in your own head. He gives you the freedom to use that information however you want. Because he knows that he trusts and he believes in your skills. All he says, I'm giving you this, and then you use it however you want to use it.
Damn,
and
that's super powerful.
that opens up a lot in your head, because you do things, you're like, oh, okay, this is why I did that. He's like,
Damn. So like, tell me in terms of like the environment there by PESFA, because obviously there's champions all around. You know, Dustins was a champion here at EFC. Lutando also. Danlutz actually, and then also with Jason being a BJJ champion in his own right. So tell me in terms of the mentality that you guys have there.
We call it a shark room. We call it a shark tank. When we walk there, we smile, but when the training starts, I want to kill you, brother. Because like, there's nothing personal. But when we start this, like he even says it, it's like when we start the session, I don't want you to be nice. I want, if you're gonna beat that guy 10 times in a day, make sure that he knows you are beating his ass 10 times in a day.
Dang, he has no chance.
There is no chance, my brother. So, like, to have these guys in a room, it's yo, brother, it's a work. It's a work, because Jason Festival is a problem. He's a problem. No, you can't just roll with that man and just chill there and decide, okay, I'm gonna choke you out. No, you can't. He's a problem. And then you got Sindile. He's like he's a tough guy on the feet. He's like he's really good in wrestling. You got Shorty. I look at him as a world class. Like, the man is world class in my eyes because of what he does. And a small man, but it's very difficult to control. Very difficult to put him away. So everybody in that room, each and everyone, like what he tells us, he says, when you walk into this room, you need to walk in here knowing what you want. I don't want you walking here just following everybody in this room. Dang. Each and every one of you need to know why you're here. Dang. I know why I'm there. Drickers has set the path. We want to all be in our stage. I want to be in the pinnacle of the world. Each and every one of my teammates has got the dream and has got the goal. So when we walk into that room, we know why we're working.
Everyone has something.
Everyone has us, yeah. So that's the mentality is put in each and every one of us. And it's such a mentality that when you're sparring with somebody, you know why I'm sparring with you hard. Even though you're going to bleed, even though, like we get into the stage where we're sparring in a ring, I'd hit one of the guy and it kind of, it's like he's a bit woozy. You're like, no, we're going to stop now, bro. You're going to get out. He's like, no. You're like, bro.
Let's keep going.
No. Yeah. So we don't hold back. It's a thing where upskill, yes, we work on skill, but we also have to make sure that we know how we're in the room.
Yeah. Dang.
And it's very nice, but if you don't, if like each and every one of us in the room, like he's obviously as a coach, he has to monitor us. He has to see how we upskilling. If you're not upskilling, he's very honest. That's what I love about him. I love honest people. I'd rather have you come in my face, tell me like, hey, you're failing, then you go behind my back and just keep quiet.
Yeah. And
he's not afraid to do that. You come to you and be like, you're being lazy. You understand? And that's some big motivation. We don't like hearing that from him. I don't want to hear him tell me I'm lazy. Even when I'm like busy with wrestling and he's like controlling me and he's like, Shadrack, you're being lazy. Yo, in the back of your head, you're like, boom, let's go.
Switches you on.
Yeah, it just switches you on same time. So it's good to have even it's not like when I was here for a week, I was wrestling with JP.
Yeah.
And JP was on top of me. Like he's a very heavy man on top of you. And I'm chilling there. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going to chill a bit, just take a bit of breath. And then I heard that voice in the back of my head. I was like, don't be lazy. I was like, let's go, move. After I get up, JP's like, yeah, you moved well. I'm like, JP, is this voice in my head. Just keep going.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good actually to have like those type of reminders, like even when you're actually feeling super tired or you're feeling super drained, that you can tap into that, the voice of your coach in difficult situations. Is that the same even when you're in the Hicks? Like, do you?
Oh yeah. Like my last fight against Stefan. Third round was way tough. Third round was very tough. Third round, Stefan could have won that third round.
That was the first time we actually saw you in the third.
Yeah, Stefan could have won that third round. That third round took a lot out of me because in that third round, I looked into that corner. He's got this eyes he gives you. Those are the eyes that kind of telling you, start working, start looking for a finish. You better get back in your game. You understand. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So it's the thing in the X as well, because for us, it's when you get in there, it's more following his game plan. It's more of just making sure we stick it out. That we don't look at the opponent, whatever the opponent. Like we look at how he moves or everything like that. We study the opponent, but you don't focus on what he does. You don't focus on how dangerous it is, because we know everybody's dangerous, brother.
Dips.
Everyone is dangerous. We just gotta make sure that I stick to my game plan and I listen to his voice. That's it.
Yeah. You want some more? What is it?
You want some? Come and get some. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a wrestling WWE?
That's John Cena's thing, actually. Funny that there's a guy called Cedric. He was doing MMA as well. Very good. Very, very good. The man went, Eliezer. The man went one-on-one in Eliezer, so scrapping without Eliezer, you gotta know you have to put in a game. Cedric is a beast, and that was his line. And so he obviously stopped doing MMA, and he's focusing on jiu-jitsu now.
Okay.
And him and coach came together like, what? You need to start saying that line now. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. That sounds like a good line. And my first fight, I said it. Second fight I said it, I just stuck. I was like, I actually like it. I love
crazy.
it. I was like,
Crazy.
It became a thing now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's what you say, and then the crowd, you can see the response within the crowd goes crazy. I feel like every time you fight, like we obviously always anticipate a first round finish. That's also because like you've kind of built that for yourself.
Yes.
How was that in terms of like being like your last fight being different and going through to the third round versus like all the others? Did you expect to go in, get a first round finish?
Yeah, I wanted to finish him in the first. Yes, I really wanted to finish him in the first. There was a bit of pressure on that because everybody's like first. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, guys, some people don't understand how tough it is in there, right? They just tell you like first round. I'm like,
also because you made it easy though.
That's the thing. They're like, it's gonna make it easy. I'm like, like Chris. Coach said it. He told me, Chris was like, look, Stefan is a very tough guy. He's a veteran in the game. He's been around the world. Yeah, so don't go in there expecting to finish him in the first round. You got a 15-minute fight. Do what you can for 15 minutes. Make sure that you look for a finish, but make sure that you work for the 15 minutes. Like I said, I'm a workhorse. I'm a dog in there, and I'm not afraid to get dirty in there. That man is tough. Like out of everybody I've fought since amateur up until now, I have big respect for Stefan. Yeah. His ribs were bruised. He had a concussion.
Yeah, that was definitely a war.
So like he's a tough man. He's a tough man. But he taught me so much because in that fight, I had one focus in my mind. I wanted to knock him out.
Yes.
Whereby I could switch the game a little bit, look for a submission. So he taught me that a bit more, where I'm like, if I can't finish you, it's fine. We can sort choke you, put you to sleep there. It's
just
okay.
Get it to the ground.
Yeah. And he also taught me the fight is not 5 minutes, it's 15 minutes. So we can play again, and when we see you fading, we take our chance. Yeah.
So that's definitely how that fight definitely changed you in terms of how do you see now the path with getting to the title? Is it how many fights do you want to still get to?
For me, not in a rush at the moment. I see light heavyweights at the moment is very vacant. The middleweight, I'm giving the guys the chance to sort out. They've got business to sort out. So I'm respecting them. Look, I have to have respect for those two.
Makes sense.
Look, Michael has been a champion. JP is my teammate, and for me, as much as I would say, look, Mark is a champion, in my eyes, JP is a champion, and I would never fight JP. Because it's the same thing when Shorty was a champion. The Gift had to wait for Shorty to relinquish the belt for Gift to come and fight for the title.
Makes sense.
So I spoke to Graham already. I'm like, bro, there's a light heavyweight. I don't have any problem with that. After this, I don't mind fighting Panga Man, or I don't mind fighting Jakub Duplessis. After that, and we can see maybe light heavyweight. And whenever JP steps out, I'm coming back for that. Regardless of it being Luke Michael or anybody else in our middleweights, I'm ready. Yeah, but by the end of the year, definitely we want the strap.
Tell me about the relationship with PESFA and House of Tinkerbell. Because obviously even now you were training with JP, getting ready for his biggest fight.
It's a very good relationship we have with them. So JP is the godfather to Chris's son, who's Josh Bright, and it's family. Whenever we're here, they make us feel at home.
Makes sense.
Whenever they're there, we make them feel at home. So, irregardless of them being called the House of Tinkerbell, it still feels like I'm in PESFA when I'm down here, because the guy treats me exactly the way I'm treated at home. Nothing special. We still get there, we still talk, we still make fun of each other, we still laugh. Guy jabs you in the face, we laugh about that. JP kicks you in the head, we laugh about that. JP chokes you, we make jokes about that. You go to sleep while JP choking you, we make jokes. So the environment doesn't change. It doesn't feel like I've left at home. Like when I'm here, I miss home, but I kind of don't miss home because I have these guys here. And it's also kind of good for me because at home it's very difficult to get a body like same size as me to train with, because obviously Sindele is a bit smaller than me. Actually not a bit, it's just smaller than me. Shorty's smaller than me. The rest of the other guys are smaller. The closest person that is bigger is Cedric. And then when I come down here, JP, he's got the height, he's got the stature. So it's really good to spend time with him, and the man has got such a skills when it comes to striking. So I'm learning from him every day. So it's a good relationship, a very, very good relationship we have with them.
Yeah, like you can actually see what you mean, because I mean obviously people from PE. I'm from East London, but like people from PE, like obviously quite short, like that's quite short. So yeah, it makes sense. So tell me, what's the goal for you ultimately? Obviously, would it be the UFC?
Yes, sir. Definitely the UFC, but before that, I want one champion, brother.
Okay.
One champion is one of the things I want. Like for me, like I want the UFC belt. I want the UFC. That's the ultimate goal. Yes,
Okay.
but I follow one champ. I love one champ, and for me, I want that belt. That belt looks sexy. That's one hell of a belt.
Yeah.
Like, if I can get my hands on that, why not? But before getting to the UFC, I want to challenge myself around the world, like what Drickus did. He went all around the world.
KSW,
He collected a couple of belts. I mean, you look at his closet, you look at his achievement. He's achieved everything. So why would I skip that? Because he's showing us how to do it. Why would I kind of go around or go over it? I must follow exactly what he did. So for me, after the UFC, obviously, I would like to see what I can get out there in the world before the UFC.
Yeah.
But if the UFC can come knocking contender, we can also head our way. You know, we never know. Contender can come early, yes. But ultimate dream is definitely one champion.
Yeah.
The UFC is, yes, but one champion for me is...
That's looking more crisper now, like that.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so in terms of like, even with now it being fight week, I also don't want to keep you for long, but is it a thing of like, what's your because I mean, like, you're a man that when I've seen you, obviously even on socials, like, you're a man who always just carries like a big smile, you know.
Sir.
Where does that come from? Why are you seemingly like a happy person, or trying to showcase that?
For me, like I say, my growing up was tough. My growing up was in positive, and as a human being, you have a choice to decide. Okay, am I gonna put that in my heart, be dark, carry that, you know, everywhere that I be despiteful of everybody, you know, around me? You have a choice. I'm a people's person. I love people. Like even before, like my work, I used to work as I was a manager in a brewery called RHBC, and reason being is because I just love being around people. I love interacting with people. I love talking with people, and I see the joy of how it is to be around people. So for me,
making other people happy.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, if you're happy, I'm happy, man. Like, I don't want somebody to be feeling down, because I know how it feels like, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, I've lived through it. So I don't want to carry that with me. And the smile on my face is genuine. It's always a genuine thing. But I'm a happy person. I wake up happy. I love what I do. Like, I tell people I love what I do. Like, I quit my job for this. I was getting paid well. I was getting good money a week. Like, a week I was getting 4K.
Dang.
A week I was getting 4,000 Rand a week. I mean, that's insane. And I'm like, you know what? Screw this, man. It's not making me happy, regardless of being with people. Like, I was enjoying the people, but my head was always into this. Like, and me doing this, waking up every day, going to the gym and training,
gives you purpose.
Yeah, so like, I know what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing this, and it just makes me happy, man. And I enjoy what I do. And I want everybody to see it in my face, and to actually see it physically, that this man is actually enjoying what he's doing. So that's why you see the smile on my face every day, because I get to wake up and actually do what I love. Like, there's an Uber driver took on my way here from Springs. He said something about a man's got to do what his man's got to do. I said, no, I disagree with you, man. A man's got to do what he loves, because that is what gives him purpose in life. Because if you don't do what you love, you will be the grumpiest man in all. You understand? If you do what you enjoy, or do what you love, there's no need to be grumpy, because you know why you're waking up the next day. You know, I'm waking up to go do what I love, brother. Irregardless of how I feel, my body's broken, painful, whatever. I wake up, I'm like, I got spasm here and there, but I'm going in there to do what I love, because I've got the most positive people around me. They don't drag you down. They push you up. They uplift you. And for me, they're giving me that for free. Why should I hold it for myself? I got to spread it around, man. That's how I look at it.
What would you tell a 10-year-old Blambee looking back now?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot I can tell a 10-year-old Blambee looking back right now, because a 10-year-old Blambee, he practically gave up on life and he thought, nah, life would never be, milk and honey.
No bright side.
Yeah, But what I can tell him is the only regret I have in life is not knowing this earlier or not realizing this earlier. But what I can tell him is every journey has a purpose, regardless of how dark, how bad it is, regardless of how much you're going through. There's a reason why you're going through it. Just keep thriving, keep moving forward. So that's it.
And that bright side is Chris Bright.
That's bright side, it's Chris Bright. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Damn, Shadrack, yeah, man, I want to wish you all the best, man, in terms of like your career. It's been like super entertaining to watch.
Appreciate it.
More first round finishes, hopefully.
We'll be looking for it. We'll be looking for it.
This session, thank you so much for doing this.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you for sitting with me. And yeah, getting to know you has been super insightful, more than what we see on the Hicks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this has been another knockout episode with Shadrack
Blambee
Nsua.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.